Related to the dog law.
Right, under section 5, B, G. Paragraph B, paragraph G. It says, any dog on Bennington town property must be accompanied by its owner. Number 1, do we have to make sure that we specify because we have 2 parks? We have the Memorial
Yeah.
Park down in Colesville.
Well, I would say the broad
Okay,
terminology for parks would apply to that.
okay. So, I mean, for what I'm gonna add, it
Yeah.
says, any dog on Bennington town property must be accompanied by its owner or a reasonable person and must be restrained at all times by a non-retractable leash no longer than 6 feet in length. And then I added, unless in a defined dog control area that may be developed in the future. But I think we have to specify that it's not down at the Memorial Park. The Memorial Park, dogs have to be on leash at all times, because that's in the hamlet, so. We're not gonna have a dog control area down there.
That may be what in the future?
May be developed in the
Okay.
future. And then my other thing was, under section 6, dangerous dogs, paragraph D on page 7, paragraph 4. It talks about restraint.
So yours is,
You're looking at the kennel law.
okay, sorry.
I didn't make copies of the dog.
I have-
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
This is, one of them is a red line, but they're both the same, but one has red line. So on this one, it says restraint of the dog on a leash by an adult of at least 21 years of age whenever the dog is on public premises. But we were saying, and this is for dangerous dogs, but why would a dog be on public premises if we're prohibiting that? Because up above it says prohibiting the dog from entering into public spaces
it's really got one copy.
or otherwise be removed from the private property of the owner. And then the next one is, you gotta restrain the dog whenever it's on public premises.
Yeah, that's,
And then the one below it too, I don't know if they're talking about if you're taking it to the vet or,
So should it be whenever it is necessary, so the public property would be taking it to the vet? Like, I agree, why is the dangerous dog on a leash in public?
right.
Is that okay? I
When
don't
right
know.
up above, but read the
Yeah.
paragraph above it, where it says prohibiting the dog from entering into public places.
Right, you're contradicting each other, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Josh, what section?
You're on page 7,
I've got the one in the line.
still should be the same, IB 4. Restraint of the dog on a leash. Are you looking at the kennel law?
No, I'm looking at the dog law.
Is it the one that,
This one?
no, that's the kennel. He's,
I don't know if you have the new copy.
I've got the one with all the red lines, I think this might be two ago.
What section, what draft is it? It should be draft 9.
July 16th.
They emailed it to us.
Yeah. Two, that might be this
It says draft 9 at the top.
one. That's not that one. Okay, whatever.
Okay, here, I'll come and sit, I'll show it to you.
All right.
Oh, okay. So, right here it says, for a dangerous dog, let's see. So it says prohibiting the dog from entering into public spaces or otherwise being removed from the private property. And then down here it says restraint of the dog on a leash by an adult whenever the dog is on public premises. I don't,
Yeah, well, why would you, but again, you gotta be able to take it to the vet. public
should
property.
be some
Well,
wording about it.
So we may have to
Yeah.
talk to them about that, because that's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
You know, first we're saying, no, they can't be, and now we're saying, you know,
This is what you do when you do it.
and then below it is muzzling the dog whenever it's on public premises, after a dog's been deemed dangerous, that
Yeah.
is. So obviously,
It's almost like that, should be with that, but if you do need to go to a public,
it should be explained why, you know, if you have to take the dog off of your premises because of a veterinary, or they say here that it has to be evaluated,
Okay.
you know, so I think we have to make sure that we change that.
Do you specify why it has, I mean, for health reasons, or like, can you say that? Or court order, or?
yeah, I mean. if the
You mean
dog-
why it's going off
Yeah.
premises? Well, I mean, obviously, you probably have to, you know, take the dog to the vet, but
No,
we have to
no,
put
yeah.
we have to put in here, because we're saying you can't take the dog off of the private property of the owner. But then the next one is, if you take it off the premises, if it's in public premises, then you have to put it on the leash.
Mhm.
So I think I think there's a little loophole there that they're gonna say, well, wait a minute, what if we have to take the dog to the vet?
Right. Right, but do you wanna put reasons that you can take them off there, I guess is what I'm asking? Or do we need to get that specific?
Or maybe just if you remove that paragraph. I mean, I think prohibiting the dog from entering into public spaces is good,
Mhm.
but I think we have to put a reason why. Why would you, if a dog's been deemed dangerous, why would he go onto
Well, yeah,
a public space?
yeah,
If the law is saying you can't take them into a public space.
I mean, in all likelihood, it's a vet visit, but it might be like, I don't know if they have to bring you down to court to show
Well,
that it's
I don't think
dangerous.
so.
I wouldn't think they'd bring it, but,
well, what, and again,
Never
court
know.
ordered evaluation, if you gotta take it to somebody to
right,
evaluate it,
yeah,
Or what if the dog's being adopted? Or
you
maybe,
can adopt dangerous dogs.
sorry.
But here it talks, in paragraph I, it talks about the dog being evaluated by a certified behaviorist.
Yeah,
So there, you know,
well, yeah, you gotta be able to do what you need to do.
yeah. But you see what I mean, how
Oh,
that
yeah,
might,
no,
how that's
it
kind
does, yeah,
of
it-
confusing,
Oh,
so, that's my,
maybe they can come up with some suggestions or some wording or whatever,
yeah.
yeah.
but, because the
but-
problem is if we get specific, then they either,
We will forget the one thing.
right, and then, well, I can't take it because of this,
Yeah,
I had to because of this, and then, or if you get too specific,
yeah,
then they can abuse the system
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Anyway.
So on page 8, we're on the red line where we point out Wyoming County Animal Shelter fees. The bottom part takes care of, right, all fees are subject to change by Wyoming County Animal, so we're calling it out,
yes,
what we're saying,
Where are you?
yeah, page 8, under kennel fees.
Yeah, that way if the county changes their fees,
Even though it says it's wrong here,
right,
the change would do it, right?
yeah,
yes,
Oh, I see, up here.
yeah. We
that
say-
way you
Yeah.
don't have to redo the law every time the
Right,
county decides to change
but
their
this,
fees.
yeah, this gives people an idea of what the fees are like now, but if the county changes, or the state changes something.
Maybe we should go through the red line parts.
Yeah, I
Just to make sure that we read it.
The big thing, right, was the peeing and pooping. So
Now it's just
urinating, now it's just pooping,
Yeah.
you know, or otherwise, so that's good.
Actually, so I'm driving to Marilla today, and there's this little sign that somebody has on their lawn where it says,
Oh, yeah,
because people take their dogs for a walk,
Mhm.
and
I've seen
the
those
dogs, but it's handwritten, you know,
Oh.
and it's like, pick up your shit. But, I mean, so here's somebody that doesn't like people taking their dogs for a walk and they don't clean it up.
Yeah.
And so they have a little
Yeah.
sign, so, there you go.
Yeah,
People
Yeah,
don't
I've
like
seen
dogs.
several signs like that,
Have you?
yeah.
they usually.
I mean,
dog
around, not
hunch.
in Bennington, but.
Yeah.
Crouching down.
You know,
Yeah,
one was I think there was one that says, please don't allow your dogs to urinate on their lawn, it kills the bushes.
yeah,
You know, then it was, they were saying nicely,
yeah.
but it was a printed sign. So it must happen more enough that
Yeah.
somebody felt they needed to go out and get a sign.
So E is correct, right?
What page?
Who was the, had some heartburn, what was her name? She breeds the dogs on Clinton Street.
Oh, Kelly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deb Keller.
What page are you on?
So page 5, top of page E, and under section 5, restrictions. Habitual chase or run alongside motor vehicles. Right, she wanted a semicolon in there or something, or I think maybe that was because the barking was still in there, I can't remember. I mean, to me, reads fine to me. I think the big thing was, well, dogs bark, well, they're barking as they're running, well, running alongside is, number one, it's dangerous. Like, I would think I'm gonna hit the dog.
Yeah,
That's how,
so you
that's how our
swear,
neighbor's
yeah.
dog got killed.
Yeah.
He would always run out and chase cars, and one day he got just got run over. And he was a big German Shepherd.
And then, right, so we got H, unless the property is obtained a kennel special use permit, we got rid of that. No owner or harbor of a dog should permit more than 6 dogs for 4 months or older to reside on any property, period. We got rid of the pointing to the special use permit for a kennel. And at the bottom, last sentence is all owners or harbors who breed dogs and or sell dogs shall be subject to this article upon the effective date of this article and shall comply with any applicable town laws or regulations governing kennels if and when adopted. So that puts the kennel back in.
But they're not grandfathered in.
That's a good
Are we
question.
talking about,
Well, this section is
Equal.
under restrictions, right?
Yeah.
yes, restrictions?
Section 5.
So,
Yeah, so we're saying, no, so the limit is 6, right? Are we-
Yes.
If we're not, I'm not gonna say the two numbers together, so I get sick and tired of my kids saying.
Anything can, you know. there's things to do.
I'll do it, I'll do it.
oh, 6, 7?
6, 7.
Yes,
I don't even know what that means.
it doesn't mean
Nobody
anything.
does.
Doesn't mean anything. So our number is 6?
Yes,
But if a breeder has more than 6 dogs, but if they have puppies, those puppies are still under, because they're not
Right.
4 months.
correct. So we could have like 5 adult dogs and they could have 8 puppies, as long as the puppies are.
But after 4 months of age, then they have to be registered to them,
Yeah,
and then they're considered.
yes,
So to have more than 6,
you have to have
a special use permit with a kennel,
yeah,
and then that would fall into what, the kennel would fall into what we have in the
right,
kennel law.
right,
So I can't have 7 unless I'm a kennel.
correct.
But if you have 7 now, you're grandfathered in. But if one of those dogs should pass away, if you get a dog to replace that dog, then you have to have a special, then you go into the new law.
What about when we were talking about the people that have 5 dogs and want to foster some and a period of fostering time? Or watching the, remember the one lady came up with a dog?
Oh, Rover.com.
Yeah, yeah, did we talk to them about a section on that or doing something with that?
I don't think we've addressed fostering.
There is,
I mean, I
in
think
here
we
on
increased,
fostering, it's the last paragraph in some page 9 of the kennel law,
Talks about fostering?
yes. Foster homes may only foster 1 adult dog at a time. Previously bonded pairs of dogs are allowed to be fostered simultaneously. A mother and pups or a group of pups may be fostered together. If the foster home already has an animal, they must consult with the fostering organization to determine the compatibility of the dogs. And then blah, blah, blah about noise and odor, blah, blah, blah.
I think you're gonna get pushback on the one dog.
Yeah, so no matter, that's saying no matter how, if you have no pets, you can still only foster one dog?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you're still,
Well-
and then you're under the.
But why would you be considered a kennel?
Because you only have one.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh,
if you only have one dog, you're not in this law.
Well,
So,
that says it's
so
just
then you
foster.
could have 3 or 4 dogs.
There's nobody here. What's going on?
I'm somebody.
You interrupted Three's Company reruns for me, okay?
I had to change my clothes.
We're
Get
being
out of my
recorded, you're being
pajamas.
recorded.
She had her shower cap on, it was,
Sillies.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I
it's
guess,
about the
I
dog,
don't have the law
right?
from me, so I'm not, I'm just
Okay.
confused as like, so you said.
So,
what
so
you
if
said-
you have one dog
Uh-huh.
that spot at home.
Yep.
And somebody says, we've got a couple of dogs that need to be fostered, would you take them?
Yeah,
So then you can have 2.
You're only at 3.
If you're under,
Okay.
if
Under
you're under
6.
the limit.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So-
So you foster
Okay.
six, was the ones that
Yeah.
already have 5
Yeah,
and decide
I
they want
hate
to
to ask,
foster 2
but call
more.
for a quick reset.
yeah.
So,
It's not even.
we've already
yet.
started, correct?
Yes, we're being recorded, right?
yeah,
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. All those other people that, came for the previous ones didn't show up or don't care? Would that be correct in saying that?
They're working today.
Or they have other obligations.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, cause I didn't have anything to do, and I know my wife didn't have anything to do.
Never.
Yeah.
I only work 12 hours every day, so.
Okay,
And I'm not trying to be a sarcastic person,
But
all right, we're
we
conducting our
value
business.
your input,
Yes.
How
So
many
we-
meetings have we had over a dog law?
yeah,
All right,
Okay,
so,
thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
There's only.
so if you don't have a dog, if you don't have dogs at home, you can still foster up to 6 dogs.
yeah.
Okay,
So is that contrary to what we're saying right now?
This law only
Is that the kennel law?
this is the kennel law.
Right.
Okay,
So if you kick into the kennel, you can only
Yeah.
foster one.
okay, I
I'm
get it,
sorry.
okay.
All right, so if you're at 6, you can only do 1 more for fostering.
Well, that's what we were talking about, doing something about that.
Right.
And I don't
That's where
know,
it's gray, right?
Well, that's why we increased the number,
okay, originally from 4 to.
4 to 6. Because really, if you look at the people in the town, nobody really has more than 6, well, some people do, but that's why we raised it to 6.
To give them a greater leeway of,
Right.
Because we don't have a lot of people in the town that have more than
okay,
6 dogs.
that's understandable.
Okay, so we raised it to 6.
And by a lot, we're talking maybe 3.
So,
So the lady that uses the dog and trains them to help her walk,
Those are
Okay.
soon.
those are service.
service
As a
dogs.
helpful
So how
part
many
of her
service
checks.
dogs? Her concern was as they phase out and they bring new ones on.
Right, because she wants to keep the old dog and let it retire and
Yes.
while the other one is able to work and assist her. Yeah,
So how many service dogs could you have in one house?
I don't think there's a limit. Service dogs just
Yeah.
don't count.
Okay.
yeah,
I think that's.
So we addressed that.
yeah.
I love this day we're having.
Come on, Phil.
I don't care.
And, service dog.
At least like, please leave.
What else was right on?
I think, well, she bolded a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Does your definitions have run at large?
Now, for my own mind, when you say she bolded a lot of stuff, that person would be
I
Our
thought,
attorney.
the attorney did.
Okay.
it.
Running greens and
I thought it was, but I wanted to
It
confirm.
could be Taylor, or I guess it could be,
Okay,
So that is-
Yeah.
that needs to be added.
Taylor's the one that
The kennel law.
makes all the changes.
Okay.
Eli's the one.
Recorded live. You can cut this. You can cut it.
so,
Okay,
in our, yeah, in the, back to our definitions and terms, is everything accounted for? Service dog is in there, is therapy dog in there?
Therapy got taken out.
I didn't need it there,
Because therapy dogs,
You
are
can't,
not like official.
yeah, anybody can say it's a therapy dog. Okay.
so what paperwork do you show to have a service dog?
You have to get it from a doctor, I believe.
Oh, I think they probably
Well, there's a
probably have to have
process.
specific training
Yeah,
too.
there's a,
yeah.
there's service animal and therapy animal, right? There's all different kinds of.
Yeah, like Kim's dog, I think is a therapy dog, but whether he's registered as that.
Yeah.
So the restrictions for the barking, that's right from the Attica law? We're pretty close to it?
We changed the
We
time.
made, yeah,
time?
we made them a
We
little,
increased the time,
yeah.
we thought it was too restrictive.
So I like how it's done. So more than 10 minutes between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. or more than 30 minutes between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. It went from night to morning, then morning to night.
Hopefully you don't work this shift.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what we can do.
So
I would say that, if anybody has been a camper, when you go to campgrounds, their restriction is a lot less because of that. But I think that's a pretty broad spectrum of time that we're giving our residents to, you know, all right, find out, time to, you know, calm down,
Yeah,
do what you gotta do.
yeah, the last part there, for a short duration then, as cited above, but no more than 5 occasions within a 10-day period if tested by complaints for at least 2 people,
yeah.
separate parties.
So that way it's just not one person complaining all the time. It's in an area where, you know, there's more people, more than one household that has a problem with the barking.
Yeah. So I don't think, for definitions, I think we have everything, right? Do we have chickens in here? Yes, we do. I see poultry.
Are we defining it as a horse?
There used to be a cow in Costa.
There
Oh,
is?
yeah.
There used to be.
Cows.
Be a county
goats,
ed.
Used to be
pigs.
Cow Attica.
Yeah,
We
so-
got cows on, the corner of Rye Line Road now, and, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
there's cows.
I love that
Pigs.
one. I love that one cow. The big,
Yeah, I go visit them when I can, when I'm not working.
we call them Kevins. They're all Kevins.
Kevin's.
That's from the movie, yeah.
I think everything is.
I think we're good. If you could just ask Taylor, like, what's with the bold? There's a lot of
Physical injury?
shells in May and shell, those are always bolded.
Because, well, like for instance, on page 11, physical injury highlighted, then it has serious physical injury, and then it has death.
Okay.
So that's, I think, to make that paragraph stand out
Okay.
for, because there's a difference between physical injury and serious physical injury according to the law
So it's
and death.
That's right, so when it
Bring it to the attention.
breaks into the dangerous dogs, that's where the notice is made, that's all. Okay. Well,
So I think we got those
So
few
that's
changes to
dog
make.
law.
yeah.
Sign it.
We're done.
There it is.
Kennel law.
I just found it. I mean, it was mostly in what I was looking at.
I do that all the time. Okay. So, I had under the definitions, it'll actually wind up going on page 2, adding run at large. We had that defined in the dog law, it's not defined in the kennel law, and I know it's referred in here somewhere. So it really needs to be defined.
Okay, I see why kennel says 7.
So, the kennel law under excessive noise, should it not just be pointing back to, the dog law under the definition, or no? It says dogs shall not engage in excessive loud howling or barking, crying or whining, or conduct itself in such a manner so as to unreasonably and habitually disturb the comfort or repose of any person other than the owner of such dog. That's it.
Well, I think you want that.
I,
Because if somebody has a kennel,
Yep.
and they got 7 or more, I certainly want to make sure that,
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying,
Should we have the same wording as in the dog law?
should we also point to the restrictions in the dog law itself from the kennel law? In addition to what you're saying here,
okay, say.
point
see
back to
also-
here, because this is very broad. There's no time frames. There's no nothing.
Okay,
Yes, I see. Well, yeah, because now, or just refer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Plus, it's under excessive noise.
So, say you have your kennel, you got 10 dogs, right? You start to feed the first dog, all 10 dogs are gonna bark. If it takes you 5 minutes to feed a dog, it's gonna take you an hour before they stop barking. How do you deal with that?
So what the neighbors will point back to the dog law and be like, hey, neighbor A, neighbor B have both witnessed this.
Yeah.
And why are you, I get it says excessive, but why is there a law up with the dogs that doesn't point to the kennel? And why is this fair for me to listen because they have a kennel, they're not subject to this time frame?
Well, I'm just wondering if a kennel during the day should have a little more leeway. Because again, if all the dogs start barking, they're gonna start barking. You know, and you're feeding this one. Sure.
I do have a question. With your theory of 5 minutes to feed dogs, 10 minutes, no, just for example. By the time you get to the 10th dog, dog number 1 already ate, and he's seen other dogs getting fed at the end of the line. And they're gonna bark. It's their nature. So,
now they want attention,
Yeah.
have
Right.
another fed, now they want attention. Or
Well, that's why I'm wondering if you should expand during business hours, you know, specifically set business hours, and say between 8 and 6. You give them a little more leeway. I don't know, you know, so, I don't know how you do it, so much per dog, or you just say that. I have no idea.
Do you think that there's other laws out there that has more definition like this? And maybe we can
Couldn't ask them that.
ask Taylor or Eli? I don't know, there's gotta be something that's already out there, right?
I would think, there's kennels, you know.
The definitions on the,
This is you. This is you.
I have one, but stop the car.
Okay, so how are we treating nonprofits then?
The same as you treat regular organizations.
Well, what if they have more than, it's okay for them to have more than 7 dogs?
Well, we should have a kennel license. When you're a
Okay, but if you look at the
for-profit,
definition of kennel, they took out the not-for-profit.
Right. Any property when has been paid for commercial. I know I talked to Taylor on this.
Yeah, I just was wondering why they took that out.
If it was just, you don't even specify not-for-profit because they're considered just part of the whole group of kennels.
But then it says only commercial purpose, so it sounds like it's only if it's commercial.
Yeah, because a non-for-profit is not commercial.
Right. And even an individual that just wants to have that many hunting dogs.
Just get rid of commercial, just for any purpose, period.
Well, the last sentence.
You gotta listen to barking, no matter if they're commercial or what they are.
Yeah.
Too much noise is too much noise,
Yes.
I would think.
Or do we add not-for-profit in the last sentence? Notwithstanding, following the following facilities are not deemed commercial kennels. County animal shelter, animal hospitals, unless engaged in commercial boarding programs. And we could say, and not-for-profit rescue.
I think that might be a question to ask the lawyer.
Just out of curiosity, as a concerned resident, how many kennels / for-profit do we have? Puppy breeders or puppy mills, whatever you wanna call them.
No problem.
Well, obviously, but, yeah. But I'm just saying, do we have, in our township,
Are there people who breed dogs
yes,
for
and
for-profit?
for sale, yes.
Yes, there are,
I
one
would say
lady.
3, yep, Deb Keller. I believe there's a woman on Bailey Road that was breeding, I don't know, I can't remember now.
There's a lot of
But big,
Yeah, Maxon is another one.
yeah.
But to what degree? Is there 8, 9, 10 dogs, or,
No, there's not very many. If they register them,
Yeah.
you have to look at what the town clerk has registered as dogs. And
Right.
we already did that once, and that's why we picked 6, because there's only a few places that have more than 6 dogs.
Most of the ones that came here that we talked to that do that, they don't have 6 dogs.
Yeah, they
They have
have
4 dogs.
Less
4 or
than-
5, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How many nonprofits do we have then?
We don't know, they're not registered.
Oh,
They're not registered in the town.
I see.
and
The dogs
how
are
can we
registered, or
not
they're not
get them?
registered as a non-for-profit organization?
We don't know.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
We don't know.
We don't have them.
So is that kind of the crux in our discussions and writing this law?
no, not necessarily.
No, I think it's I think because right now we don't have a law. So what this does is, as more people move into the town, and if you don't have a law, then they're gonna, if you don't have a law, because Joanne says a lot of people call, how many, we're gonna move there, how many dogs can you have? So now if they know that you have a law that says, if you have more
X
than 6
number.
dogs, okay, but
Then
right
you're
now we
filed
don't
under.
have any ordinance at all for anything,
Okay.
other than a nuisance law. If
Just
your
trying to
dog,
get it out there.
if your dog goes over to Molly's house and, and she doesn't care, that's fine. But if your dog goes over there every
And
morning
gets
and
into her
sits
chicken
sits
coop,
on her brand new couch that she has on her porch and gets it all
takes and
muddy.
chases her chickens all over,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Molly's angry.
yeah.
Yes, and then
Or
Molly
digging up
comes
the
to
flowers.
you and says, you have to stop, but you don't, that's when you go to Justa and she says, okay, we have a nuisance law
Yeah.
that I can follow.
Okay.
But as far as any other ordinance
Yeah.
for barking or anything, it's under ag and markets, but in the town manual, it just said towns are allowed to do their own separate ordinances in addition to ag and markets.
just wanted to get that out there, so
Yeah.
everybody
You
heard.
don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's,
And a large part of what's in the kennel law relates to the welfare of the animals. Their well-being, how they're housed, you know, how much, if they're outside, they can't be outside for longer than 12 hours a day. You gotta allow them to come inside, you know,
Or
have
have
them
shelter.
checked. Have the kennel checked, by the dog control officer once a year, if it's a, registered kennel in their town.
Well, even the dog law
Yeah.
addresses that too.
Yeah,
It's about taking care of the
Yeah.
animals
right,
and being responsible owners.
yeah.
Our main
It's for
town.
future,
Yeah,
future.
yeah, because actually, I think right now with the kennels that we have, that we know of, most of them are big dogs. So they don't want, you know, 20 dogs, they can't handle 20 dogs. I mean, we used to have, all the women in town, we had probably 30 or more dogs. And that was not a good situation for the dogs.
Well, I think
No,
we're
it's not.
limiting the amount of dogs you can have for a kennel.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't be more than 15, I think.
yeah,
And anybody can apply for a variance. I mean,
yeah, it's,
Right,
Yeah.
if you're,
Well,
if
so
you
long as
got,
then you can, yeah,
Yeah.
if you,
you know,
for some reason you need to do it, you can apply for variance
Yeah.
if it makes
right,
sense and it's reasonable.
you know, say
You're
for
probably get granted,
instance,
if it's not, you
the
won't.
lady that owns the Shilkoff Scout Camp, that's 500 acres. You know, she puts
yeah.
10 dogs or 20 dogs in the middle,
Mhm.
nobody's gonna hear them. But then she would just have to ask for a variance, and I'm not saying that's happening, but
Yeah,
that's one on the road basis.
yeah.
so this kennel law goes in, and there's already pre-existing kennels,
Mhm.
like,
For people that have
Or
that,
people
more
that
than
do it,
6
right.
dogs.
so there's a grandfather in of what's going on, so maybe their kennels don't match what this is.
Mhm.
So,
Do they ever have to be on?
yeah, I'm assuming they don't have to, but if they make an adjustment, then they should, if they wanna add on or whatever. But
Mhm.
how is that not an
Well-
issue or a concern, or?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, because if you look at the bottom of page 3, housing starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
3, all of 4, all of 5, all of 6, those match ag and markets.
Which,
So it doesn't
That's what we
matter what
want.
our law says,
Okay.
they're gonna have to abide by it.
is this the new egg and markets that's
Yeah.
coming out in December? Which is very,
So I guess I'm saying is, all right, so I have a kennel system, the housing is probably not matching what's in here. I'm already in the system, but I wanna add on to it, so.
I would think any additions, then you have to follow the law.
But my current thing
Isn't gonna
is
be followed.
200 feet from the property line, and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be 500, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
That was 100.
But I can't comply to that, so that means I can't add on.
Or you have to get a variance.
And you have to ask for
Yeah.
variance.
and that might, you know, you might be able to prove a hardship that, you know, for me to build a whole other facility is gonna cost $80,000 or whatever, and you don't make that much, you're not gonna make that much money off of your kennel in your lifetime.
Mhm.
So you can ask for a variance, and, you know, you may or may not get it, but you also are gonna have to comply with it. You won't get a variance from Egg and Markets, I don't believe, because
But-
they're looking at it strictly as the animal welfare.
But then you also, if you get a variance, do the neighbors come into
Yeah,
account
the
then?
neighbors are all,
They're all informed, they all get to come to
Okay.
the public hearing.
So,
And even if you don't like the decision of the variance, you can go further. You can take it to court. So there's There's ways to do stuff.
Okay, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
right, I'm just
Yeah.
trying, all right, I got my thing, I feel like this is too restrictive, like, what are my options, right, so.
And I guess that's the point, we're not trying to, you know, push people, you know, make a conflict with people that are doing this, like, I don't know what Stacy Ackford is, you know, but she's got a special use permit. But it's for future people, because if you have, if Bennington's gonna grow, and you have people coming here, and we don't have any dog ordinances, or, you know, they're just gonna do whatever they want. That's what this is for. With the people that are grandfathered in, and if the people are grandfathered in, like we said, if they have 6 dogs, okay, if they get 7 dogs, then they are under the special use permit in the kennel law. But once you have, the people that are here already that have it, I don't think it's fair to. Yes,
I'm
sir?
with you on
Can
this.
I relate it to, let's say you build a restaurant here, and you're the Bennington Lanes, you're the Pine Lounge.
Mhm.
You have what you have.
Right.
If you drastically remodel, you have to build a new code.
Mhm.
If you're building brand new, you have to build to the full new code.
That's
Is
basically.
that fair?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's,
Very good example.
Yeah,
which I'm not gonna build a restaurant here, because code is tough and restaurant business is so
Well,
difficult.
get it done then.
We have a meeting next year.
Hey, don't say that.
I know somebody that's good barbecue.
Ah,
okay. So,
when is Jeff Burger?
Darn Alexander.
Taylor was going to
Small
send
business.
the
Really good bar.
text of the Asian markets law, but she couldn't get it to come through in the email. So she'll either bring it to our next meeting, or else she'll just keep trying to get that sent in. So we can see where all of this wording lands in the laws too.
On the bottom of page 5 under kennel,
Mhm.
12, there's a reference to 5 adult dogs,
Mhm. Oh, okay.
should be 6? No,
Wait.
what number should be there?
Or is it 7?
7, right?
Yeah.
12. Oh, it's the amount of dogs co-housed.
Oh.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess-
Oh,
yeah.
Is this
okay.
part of the egg and markets?
Okay. Yeah. So I
Okay,
guess, yeah,
that's what egg and
5 would be
markets is
right.
saying.
Okay, egg is in there, okay,
Yeah, so then you'd have 2 units.
yes,
The other dogs would be there.
okay, all right.
This time. It's about, it's about 50 minutes.
And there's nowhere in here where we're talking about dogs being confined in a crate for the rest of their lives. Okay.
Sorry, can I say that again?
So non-commercial kennels using housing between 7 and 9 dogs will not be required to meet all the requirements of a commercial kennel. So this is the hobby? This be,
This would be non-commercial kennel, so I guess it's like if you decide you want to have 8 dogs. God bless you, but, yeah,
And that would also be no for profit.
yeah.
And this is egg and markets.
well, this is under the licensing regulations on page 8. Is that what Egg and Market says as well?
I don't know
Nice.
anything else. Good for you. Might be there.
Non-commercial kennels are described in section H. H where? I don't know where H is.
Under,
So on page 9, E, it's underlined. Non-commercial kennels are described in section H.
above. H got taken out.
That is.
That H got taken out. H, there's no H.
I'm okay with D. Is that what you were asking, or?
Yeah, I would guess I just was trying to, so, like, did we define what commercial and non-commercial was in the definition, or no? Because that term is used a couple times.
I don't believe they do.
Well, that's where we talked about at the last, adding for that last sentence under kennel
Yeah,
and adding not for profit. So everything would be deemed commercial unless it's county animal shelter, animal hospital, groomers, and not for profit.
okay, so it define itself, but should we, should those be definitions?
Mhm.
And that would be commercial kennels and non-commercial kennels, right?
If there is a difference.
Right.
I mean, non-commercial, would that be your own dogs? You just have 7 dogs or more?
Yeah.
And then you're non-commercial, but you have to get a special use permit for a kennel. Where commercial, you're doing it as a business where you're selling dogs. And you have more than 7 dogs. If you have more than 6 dogs, then you have to get a special use permit, but you're commercial, so I guess we need that. But back to E, I think that doesn't, I mean, section H is what we're, right? We
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. You eating?
Would you like that? Is that leftover Halloween candy? I'm sorry, is that
One of the things I asked Taylor if she could, see if she could get like a definition or any type of thing where we could address, like a doggy daycare. If somebody is just dropping the dog off at 8 o'clock in the morning and they pick it up at 5:30. I mean, are they, is it boarding, is it a kennel, does it matter?
I would think if you're, I would think if you're,
Boarding, but it's boarding for. like,
I would think
8
that's
hours
a,
at a
that,
time.
now that's a to me, that would be commercial, because you're doing it as a business.
You should start one.
Yeah, and, but, again, that runs into a problem where you got all these dogs, and, you know, if the neighbors are like, what the heck's going on over there? And they're doing it as a business, then I would think they need a special use permit as a commercial.
Anything over 7? Or 6?
But then again, they have to have enough room, you know, I mean, they have a, you know, they need an area, cause when you take your dog to a doggy daycare, you expect it to
Yeah,
I want
Have
spacious
exercise.
accommodations,
Yeah.
little